Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben. Tonight I've got 5 more budget bourbon bangers on the bar. Let's get into it. So recently I put out a video that was 5 of my top budget bourbons under $30. And I realized through the course of making that video that there's just way too many of them out there, which is a good thing. It's always good to find good bourbons at a cheap price. So I decided to do another list with some of the obvious omissions from that first list. And so even putting together this list, I realized that there are even more because I'm just trying to do 5 at a time. So there may be even another follow-up video to this. And my intro was a little misleading because I don't actually have these on the bar. I don't actually have any of them right now. And the reason for that is the way that I kind of go about keeping like the budget bourbon bangers around is I usually like to keep 1 or 2 on hand. For the most part, if I'm just gonna chill on a Friday night and have a couple of drinks with some friends or something like that, that's when I like to have something, you know, like a good, fairly inexpensive, but good to sip, neat sort of bourbon. And so I usually don't keep, you know, a variety of brands, but I always have like 1 or 2 bottles that I really like that are kind of in that budget category, and I kind of rotate those in and out. And so tonight just happens to be ones that I have on the bar on a regular basis, but I just don't happen to have any of these bottles right now. But through the miracle of editing, no whiskey today, I will put them on the screen during the video. So let's get into it. The first one, the very, very first obvious omission from that first video, Old Grandad 114. This one is just an absolute banger, 114 proof. It usually, I mean, around here I can get this for like $27, which is ridiculous for what it is. If you like a cinnamon sort of profile, I always find the Old Grandad bottles to be fairly cinnamon forward. I know there are other Old Grandad products that are budget bourbon bangers, but I'm trying to keep this list down to 5, and we're just gonna do 1 Old Grandad product tonight, so we're doing the 114. I remember the first time I had OGD 114, it was a little hot for me, and I was already kind of up into drinking higher proof stuff, but I don't know, it took a little getting used to, but now it's just one of my favorite budget pours. Again, at the 114 proof, if you're looking for something a little bit higher in proof, which you don't usually get at the lower price, great option. All right, number 2, and I know some people are kind of hot and cold about this one, but just regular old Larceny. 92 proof wheated bourbon from Heaven Hill. Usually you get this around 25 bucks or something like that. I think it's really good for a basic, you know, budget pour. There's nothing terribly special about it. It's not gonna blow you away, but 92 proof gives it just enough proof that it's got a decent amount of flavor, but it's also in that, you know, the proof point where if you're looking for something a little lower proof because you wanna have a couple, but you don't wanna sacrifice flavor, I think Larceny does a good job of that. Kind of like the last video, I'm not gonna get too much into like tasting notes on all these, but you know, it's kind of got that classic wheater bready sort of vibe to it, if I recall, that I really like. And then I think it's got a little bit of that Heaven Hill nuttiness to it as well. So I just think it's overall just kind of a good, fairly basic, but nice and flavorful budget bourbon. All right, number 3, this one, the price can fluctuate to above $30, but I can definitely get it for less than $30 in my area. Knob Creek 100 proof. In my opinion, the 9-year age statement on this one and the 100 proof, I can't believe you can get this for less than $30 considering what a lot of bourbons sell for, especially age-stated ones. I mean, you're just 1 year shy of a 10-year bourbon, and math. And I just think that value-wise, this is, especially when you're getting it under 30 bucks, this is maybe one of the better values in budget-friendly bourbon. I know for a while there they took away the 9-year age statement, but it is back. It has been back for a couple of years now. So, I mean, if you're looking for a decent age-stated bourbon, when I say I mean decent age, I mean the bourbon's great, it's better than decent. But I mean, 9 years is a pretty good age for a budget bourbon. So if you're looking for something age stated, you want to get above that 90 proof point, hit it right at 100, I just don't think you can go wrong with this one. It's kind of classic Jim Beam flavor profile. It does have a little bit of that nuttiness, but I mean, overall, just a well-balanced bourbon. I really like that. To be honest, I need to get one on the shelf because it's been a while since I've had one. So I think that might be one of my next, you know, grab it for cheap and keep it as my regular sipper bottle. So getting on to the next one, Elijah Craig's Small Batch. This is one of my favorite go-to inexpensive bourbons. If I go to like a Sam's Club or something like that, I can get this for like 23 bucks. 94 proof Heaven Hill product. This one is just a great example of just a general down the middle bourbon. Like, it's just classic bourbon. Don't really know what more to say about it than that. I mean, it's just everything. When you think of what bourbon is, what bourbon tastes like, this is like right in the middle there. It's just got all the classic flavors. And at the proof point, ton of flavor. The 94 proof really works for it. It's not overbearing if you don't want to get to the 100 proof. But again, it's kind of one of those ones where below 100 proof packs a ton of flavor for not a lot of money. So total recommend on that. All right, final one for this list, Evan Williams 1783. 90 proof banger. Usually get this one around here for maybe 23 bucks. They switched a couple years ago from the classic bottle. I think it was 6-year age stated or something. And I think the new one like 8-year. It's been a while since I've had the actual bottle on my shelf. Or maybe it is still 6. I don't know. I'm going by memory here because I don't have a bottle of it. But I'll probably put on the screen here what the correct answer to that is. But I do know that it is a great budget pour. Again, kind of a standard down the middle. I know we've got 3 Heaven Hill products on this list, but Heaven Hill just really does do a great job of putting out good mid to low tier price-wise bottles of bourbon. Evan Williams 1783, I remember I did a blind flight with a couple other like bourbons in the 90 proofs, and it scored really well. I think Blanton's was in that, and it was like neck and neck with that. Not that Blanton's is really great. I mean, it's 93 proof, 6-year bottle. So stats-wise, it's pretty close. I think now that I think of it, the Evan Williams is 6 years. Just a rambling video right now. Anyway, totally worth a shot. You know, at the 22 or 25 bucks, you're probably gonna like it if you like a good general bourbon profile, kind of like that Elijah Craig Small Batch, but it's a little different flavor profile from that, but still kind of down the middle classic bourbon flavors. But if for some reason you don't like it, it's 22, 25 bucks, not the end of the world, probably work well in a cocktail. So that's my second list of the 5 of my top sub $30 bottles of bourbon. Watch for another one of these coming out because there's a couple of brands actually that I haven't really explored that are available in Minnesota. So I think maybe what I'll do is go grab a couple of bottles, maybe do a review, try those out, and then see if I can add those to the list of the remaining ones that still are not on this list that I think deserve to be there. So look out for part 3 of this bottle. And just like last time, let me know what I missed. Some of these bottles on here are ones that you guys all put in the comment on the last video, and they're ones that I definitely did understand belonged on the list. So I wanted to give the updated second tier of this sort of budget bourbon bracket. And maybe someday I'll grab a bunch of these and do a budget bourbon battle, blind. Trying to come up with B words now. Anyway, this has been 5 more of my top budget bourbon bangers on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.